Heart-healthy foods for seniors. Everyday eating support.
In the next few minutes, you'll learn simple, heart-healthy food choices and easy meal ideas you can use every day without complicated meal plans. Sounds good, right? Let's dive in. All right, first things first, let's talk about a simple food philosophy. You know, it's not just about what you eat. How you think about food is just as powerful. And really, it all boils down to making small, consistent choices that add up over time.
So, here are the core principles that make this whole thing work. And honestly, they make it feel totally manageable. We are not talking about some crazy diet overhaul here. Nope. It's all about small, smart changes. Things like simple swaps, focusing on adding the good stuff instead of just restricting, and always remembering that consistency is way more important than perfection. Because you know what? These are the kinds of changes that actually stick around for the long haul.
You know, if you take away just one thing, let it be this. It is not about being perfect. Not at all. It's about all those small, supportive choices you make, you know, most of the time. That's the real secret. That's how you build a healthy habit that lasts.
Okay, so with that philosophy in mind, let's get practical and talk about your plate's foundation. We're going to focus on 3 really simple but super powerful building blocks for your meals: fruits, vegetables, and whole grains.
So first up, fruits and vegetables. Seriously, think of these as the absolute cornerstone of heart-supportive eating. And you might be wondering, why? Well, all those beautiful, vibrant colors you see in things like berries and leafy greens, they come from these amazing natural compounds that literally support your cardiovascular system. It's pretty incredible stuff.
And listen, getting more of these into your day is way easier than you probably think. I'm not talking about whipping up complicated new recipes here. It can be as simple as, say, tossing some frozen berries into your morning oatmeal, or grabbing a handful of baby carrots for a snack, even just wilting some spinach into a soup at the last minute. See? Super simple.
Okay, now here is a major mythbuster I really want you to hear. Convenience is your friend. I'll say it again. Convenience is your friend. You do not have to buy everything fresh. Frozen and canned options, as long as you're looking for ones without a ton of added sugar or sodium, are just as nutritious. Plus, they are fantastic budget-friendly tools to have in your arsenal.
All right, next up for our foundation, whole grains. Think of these as your go-to powerhouse for sustained energy. They're way more filling than refined grains, and they'll help you feel steady and strong throughout the day. I mean, who doesn't want that, right?
And this right here is a perfect example of a simple swap in action. Just one little change, like swapping your usual white bread for a whole grain version, can make a huge difference. And the best part? It doesn't totally disrupt your routine. See? That's a simple swap that flat out works.
And the great news is there are so many easy options out there. Oatmeal is a fantastic choice. And hey, instant is totally fine. Then you've got brown rice, that whole grain bread we just talked about, even quinoa, which is super easy to cook. These are all just wonderful staples to keep in your pantry.
Okay, so we've got our mindset down, and we've got our building blocks. Now for the really fun part. Let's actually put it all together and see what this looks like in some easy, everyday meals, from breakfast all the way to dinner.
So for breakfast, check out how easily these ideas bring everything together. You could do oatmeal topped with those berries, boom, whole grains and fruit. Or maybe some whole grain toast with avocado. You could even scramble some eggs and toss in a handful of spinach to get a veggie in right at the start of your day. So many simple, powerful ways to kick things off.
And lunch? Yeah, that doesn't need to be complicated either. How about a simple salad with some beans for protein with a whole grain roll on the side? Perfect. Or what about a classic combo? A nice hearty vegetable soup with a half sandwich on that whole grain bread. It's easy, it's satisfying, and it's totally heart supportive.
When it comes to dinner, the simple plate method is going to be your best friend. Seriously, just picture it. A nice piece of baked fish, a side of colorful roasted veggies, and a scoop of brown rice. Done. Or maybe a comforting bowl of whole grain pasta with a simple side salad. It's balanced, delicious, and just so wonderfully straightforward.
All right, let's move on to the final piece of the puzzle here, smart shopping and prep. Because this, my friends, is how you set yourself up for success. This is how you make the healthy choice the easy choice all week long.
You know, a trip to the grocery store doesn't have to be overwhelming. With a basic list like this, it's actually simple. Just focus on these 4 categories. All you have to do is pick a few of your favorites from produce, proteins, grains, and healthy fats, and just like that, you've got everything you need to build those easy, delicious meals we've been talking about.
And hey, let's just circle back to this one more time because it's so important. Eating for your heart does not have to break the bank. canned beans, frozen veggies, and whatever produce is currently in season, those are your best friends for getting amazing nutrition on a budget.
Just a little bit of prep can make a world of difference during a busy week. Think of it as a gift to your future self. So when you get home from shopping, maybe just take a few minutes to wash and chop some veggies, cook up a big batch of brown rice, or hard-boil a few eggs. These little things make grabbing a healthy meal later on so much faster.
So, after all this, the big question is, where do you start? Well, it's pretty simple. Here are your next steps. And please, please don't try to do everything at once. Just pick one small change to try this week. Maybe stock your kitchen with 2 or 3 of these staples. And I think this is the most important part. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. You're building new habits, and that takes time.
So I'll leave you with this to think about. What's one small change that you can try this week? Just one thing from everything we talked about. Maybe it's swapping your bread, maybe it's just adding some berries to your breakfast. Whatever it is, that is the perfect place to start.
Explore and discover more senior-friendly resources on the Healthy Aging Guide.